Look where we are. How awesome is this? Hi guys, it's Elissa at Moat Cottage Homesteading. If you regularly watch my channel, you know that I live in Australia and that we've been struggling with long-term droughts and extreme heat waves. Now we're good for a few heat waves in Australia, don't get me wrong, but it's been ridiculous. It's beyond a joke. And Australia's been burning since September and there's no sign of it stopping anytime soon. The town I live in, which is just over 3,000 people, is located at the foot of the Strathbogie Ranges. And on Saturday a fire started in the Balmattum Hill, which is a bushland reserve right next to my town. The very foot, the base of the reserve, my town is there. It was a hot, windy day. It was a total fire ban day due to the extreme conditions. So we were on total fire ban already, which means you're not allowed to mow, you're not allowed to use machinery, you're not allowed to do anything because a spark will start a fire. It's not if it will, it will. So where the fire started was less than 3 kilometres away from my house. In bush, in rugged bush terrain that is really difficult to get to. There's no roads going through it. There's little tracks for the fire brigade, but it's not really a place, it's not a place you can just drive in. It's not like that. It's solid bush reserve. It's right next to the town. You can see it's steep, rugged terrain with rocks, trees and bush. And it's really a place that the locals know about. I'm not sure if it's really a public destination for people to go to or anything. It's definitely something that the locals know about though. And my son runs up there from here quite a lot with our dog. In fact, last time he was running up there, the dog and him stood on a brown snake. So there's always adventures to be had up there. I want to thank the Country Fire Brigade for working tirelessly since these fires started in Australia. It's been ongoing and relentless for them. And our crews were going and helping other fires before our fires broke out. So Australians don't just sit at home waiting for their own fires, they go off and fight other fires. And I'm also aware that we have people from other countries coming over to fight our fires, like we do when they have fires. Firefighters are amazing people. They really are. The fire was out of control all day and we were told to evacuate. Half the town did evacuate. We were monitoring the winds, we were packed to go, but I really didn't want to go. By the time I'd got everything prepared to go, I was so exhausted that I needed to sleep. I was beyond tired because I have chronic fatigue. Doing something like getting organised to evacuate is a lot, even though I was already prepared to a degree. And you know, if you watch my channel, I was getting prepared since November. Like I've always, I'm a prepper anyway, so I try and get prepared as I can. But we had that code red day in November, which was spring, it wasn't even summer, and it was a scary day. So we were told to evacuate because if a fire broke out, they wouldn't be able to help us because it was just the conditions were so extreme. So I've been slowly getting prepared as much as I can since that day, even more than I already was prepared. We had up to 83 vehicles attending. It was amazing to watch the air bombers and the helicopters just non-stop all day, going in and out and picking up water and dumping the water, and just the way they manoeuvred and flew was just insane, and they didn't stop. I hope they had switchover pilots, to be honest, because it was insane. I love a good air show, and if I hadn't have been under threat for a fire, it would have been really nice to just to sit and watch it without the fear factor. The fire brigade did manage to get it under control by the end of the day, but if you look at this photo, that's not a city. That is the hill glowing with embers. So it really didn't feel too safe, even though it was under control. So we had someone on watch all night and everyone else took shifts in sleeping. So that's the view we had from our house. From our front veranda, that was the view. The conditions became way more favourable. We went from extreme heat to winter weather. We got 7 millimetres of rain over 24 hours, so it was more like a little spray. The temperature was also freezing cold, so we were rugged up in winter clothes. We even had to have a fire going in the house, which is just ridiculous. But it got that cold. It was a nice relief. We were able to catch up on sleep and get more jobs done around here to prepare for if embers do come. It's still simmering along. The dark shaded area on the right hand side is everything that has already caught on fire or is glowing. So the fire's contained. We have to keep an eye on what's going on and keep updated, because if an ember attack does happen and fires do break out, we need to be aware. We had a little fire breakout last night after I went to bed and I heard my phone go off. So I was aware of what was going on and I sort of stayed awake until they had it under control. And they were onto it so quickly that they got it under control. So I'm really grateful for that. But this is the sort of thing that's going to happen. The fire doesn't just get put out, it gets contained and controlled. And yeah, it can't be put out. It's just not like that. So some things that have come in really handy for us have been obviously having plenty of food, clean water, a really good water filter to filter any ash or chemicals out of our water that we're drinking. Having P2 face masks because the air quality is shocking. It was bad and we were using these before our particular fire. Our air quality was 70 and now our air quality is in the mid 200s and it got up to 293 and that's very unhealthy. So these masks have come in very handy. Another thing that's come in handy apart from our food, clean water and medicines, you want to make sure you have your medicines stocked up, is having an asthma pump. I haven't had asthma since mid-90s. Country air really agrees with me and having one of these handy has definitely been a lifesaver. I've needed it. Let alone if you're an asthmatic that uses one regularly, this type of air just isn't, it's not good. Now, if you want to monitor the weather where you are or the air quality where you are, I'm going to put a link in the description below for the Wunderground app. It's a worldwide app of private weather stations and it monitors the air quality as well. It's a fantastic app and you can type in other people's areas to see what their weather quality is. So you can type in Beijing or New York or your own, of course, and compare it. Eye drops, antihistamines and Panadol is another 3 things that I would recommend. Eye drops because the smoke burns your eyes. Panadol because you can get headaches. Try and keep your fluids up. And antihistamine, if you get allergic to the smoke, it just drives you crazy. So there's some things to have on hand too if you want to be prepared for this type of situation. I don't feel like we're out of this situation. There's still 3 sides of the town left that haven't burnt. A lot of people don't believe in climate change or global warming or any of that, and depending where you live might depend what you believe. But I know where I live, what I've seen, what I've experienced and what I've lived through. I know that as humans, we are here to look after this planet that we've been blessed with. And we're not doing a very good job of it. We're polluting it, we're leaving our rubbish everywhere, we're putting chemicals on everything, and it's just not good enough. We need to do better than that. And I know a lot of you watching, whether you believe in climate change or not, you want to do good for the environment. So what we need to do as people, instead of just complaining about it or getting upset on social media, we need to be writing to our local parliament members who we've voted in to represent us in parliament. That's our voice, not Facebook. Although Facebook can be a rant, it doesn't solve problems because they're not listening to Facebook or any other social media platforms. They're not even listening to YouTube. Hey, go figure. So whatever you believe, whatever you want to do or change, write to your local government and get them to represent you, because that is their job. Making this video has been really difficult because talking about the fires is tough, because I feel quite flat about the whole thing. I'm angry, I feel like I don't have that much power. Even though I can write letters, that doesn't feel very powerful, although it's better than nothing. That's got to be my voice. I love the wildlife and our ecosystems and our nature, and I'm just devastated that our bush is burning like this. And I know so many people around the world feel the same. So I want to say thank you to everybody for all your support, your prayers, your love, your donations, to support our firefighters and the people who have lost homes and are displaced, and to help our wildlife in the recovery to the ones that are burnt and need help. I just want to say thank you, because this is a team effort. I'm so grateful that we have our lives, our home, and our pets, and our animals, and our garden, and my community. We haven't lost a house in our particular community. They've done such an amazing job. I want to thank you all for your wonderful messages and support from all around the world. I am so behind in all my comments and I have so much to catch up on. So be patient with me and I'll try and respond. It's summer and there's so much to be done on the homestead, as well as all these preparations and extra things with the fires. So get out there and get more prepared. I'll see you in the next video.